I'm Adrienne from MusiQuest, where we help you make music. I'm joined today by Zach, who is one of our co-founders here at Edify, and he's also a songwriter, and he makes all of the lessons that are in the MusiQuest app. Today we're going to talk about 10 tips for how to be a better songwriter, and this applies to you whether you are brand new at making music and have never done it before, or if you are really experienced and have written a ton of songs.
Tip number 1, just write. It can be tempting to wait around for inspiration, but songwriting is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it'll get.
So how do you do this as a songwriter?
Well, I like to write a new song every single week and try to keep myself to that deadline. If you can make the space in the day, every day, the same time to write, you'll be a lot better off.
Tip number 2, listen critically. If you have a favorite artist or a favorite song, just turn it on and give it a really great listen. What instruments are they using? What are the different parts of the song that are your favorite, that really stand out and they're really special to you? If you can play it on your instrument or you can sing along, it'll really help you understand what are the really special pieces of that song that maybe you can emulate in your own songwriting.
Tip number 3, follow the words. When we speak, there are naturally rises and falls in the ways that we talk. There are syllables we emphasize and ones we emphasize less. Listen to that when you're trying to set your lyric to music. Think about which words need to be emphasized, which ones should be high, which ones should be low, and try to make it natural and conversational.
Tip number 4, keep it simple. If you can't remember the sound of your melody the next hour or the next day after you've written it, no one else is going to be able to remember it either.
One great way to make simple melodies is to use what's called the pentatonic scale. This is a 5-note scale that you can find by just pressing all the black keys on a piano. It's the first, second, third, fifth, and sixth notes of a major scale, and this is a great way to get simple melodies that you know you're going to remember.
And if you're not comfortable with all of that, give it a try on our app MusiQuest. We have the pentatonic scale in there for you already, so just by tapping around and choosing different notes, you're going to get notes that sound great.
Tip number 5, don't be boring. If you put all of your notes on downbeats, it's going to bore your listener very quickly. Use a mix of notes on the downbeat and notes in between beats or on upbeats in order to create a syncopated or more interesting rhythm.
And software can help you do that. With the MusiQuest app, you can visually see if you're on the beat or if you're off the beat. So try tapping your notes in different places so you can get different sounding rhythms. Tip number 6, repeat yourself. Great songwriters repeat themselves all the time. So if you have a melody or a rhythm or a lyric that you really love, don't be afraid to repeat it a ton of times in your song. And if you want to vary it a little bit, you can move it up or down a little bit, you can move the rhythm around a little bit, and just add a little bit of variety while still repeating similar things that you love.
Tip number 7, surprise us. So this may sound like it's contradicting tip number 6, but actually repeating yourself is the best way to set you up for surprise. If you repeat yourself over and over and over again, you set up an expectation. You make the listener expect a certain thing to come next, and if you do something that's a little bit different from that, it surprises them.
Tip number 8, experiment. When you are writing your song, don't be afraid to try different speeds and different instruments, because those small changes can really make a big difference in how the song sounds. And with something like MusiQuest, it's really easy to make these changes. You can tap to change the speed and either make it a super fast song all of a sudden or a super slow song or anywhere in between. You can change the different instruments and just test it out and see what feels good to you for your song.
Tip number 9, build. Start your song kind of quiet and build it up gradually to be louder. Start your melody low and build it up into the high range. This is a great way to keep the anticipation going as your song unfolds, especially if you're repeating yourself.
You know how you love songs that just get a little bit louder and more exciting and you just want to dance and it explodes. Everybody loves songs like that, right?
Oh yeah.
Tip number 10, last but not least, and this applies to things beyond songwriting, don't be afraid to walk away. If you have been working on a song for a while and you're just sort of getting stuck and don't know what to do next, go outside, read a book, play a video game, just do something completely different, come back to it the next day. With a fresh perspective, you're going to have a lot more ideas.
I often find that songs that I don't like the day that I write them turn out to be the ones that I like the most a few days or a few weeks later. It takes time. Let it breathe.
Ooh, let it breathe. I like that.
So those are our tips for better songwriting. Hopefully you found them helpful. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments.
Yeah, we're happy to help with any of your questions about songwriting. And if you want to try out our MusiQuest app, you can download it right here. It's a free download for your iPhone or your iPad, MusiQuest.com. Thank you so much for watching. Please give us a thumbs up, and we hope to see you next time. Bye!